Hi everybody, subscribe to Chemverse tutorial channel and hit the bell icon to get latest chemistry videos. Hello everybody, welcome to Chemverse tutorial. This is our fifth lecture on the organometallic chemistry and third part of our metal carbonyl lecture. Okay, in my previous two lectures I have completed the theory portion there, and I have already discussed that how the metal ligand back bonding affects the carbonyl stretching frequency. I am going to recapitulate what I have taught you in the previous two lectures of metal carbonyl. So let's begin with this. What we had seen there, that if the electron density on the metal increases, I can also say it that the negative charge density, negative charge on the metal, if it is increasing, then automatically what I can see, that metal to carbonyl, this back bonding, okay, this back bonding, it is basically a pi back bonding. This extent of pi back bonding will increase. If back bonding increases, then automatically what I can say, the carbonyl bond strength will decrease, because in the previous class what I have discussed, that if this is a structure of the metal carbonyl binding, and when metal is donating electron density to the carbonyl, to the pi star of the CO ligand, so what I can see, that there will be this kind of thing, where if you take a look at this portion, that means the carbonyl portion, here the bond order was 3, from here one bond is broken, so it is now 2, so bond order decreasing means bond strength decreasing. And another thing is that if you compare the metal carbon bond strength, that means the metal ligand bond becomes stronger. What I can see over here, that before the back donation it was a single bond, after back donation it is turned into the double bond, that means the bond order between the metal and carbon increases, so this bond becomes stronger. So from here what I can say, that the metal carbon bond strength, okay, that bond strength increases upon the back donation. So from here what conclusion we can draw, the carbonyl stretching frequency decreases for the back donation if the back donation increases, and metal carbon frequency, this is a higher frequency of course, that frequency will increase. Okay, because IR stretching frequency depends upon the, so what I can say, IR stretching frequency depends upon the bond strength. It is IR stretching frequency depends upon the bond strength, it is proportional to the bond strength. If it if the bond strength increases, automatically IR stretching frequency will increase. So this is the thing what's happening. And in the previous class what we had learned the effect of the spectator ligand. In today's question you will get some more questions about the spectator ligands, then you can identify how we apply them. So what was the logic was that if the ligand, which is a spectator ligand, which is attached to the same metal, so if it donates electron density to the metal, it will in turn increase the electron density around the metal. So what we will do, it will actually promoting the back bonding. If the back bonding increases, then automatically the carbonyl stretching frequency will decrease. So what I can say, that if L, the donor ability, if the donor ability of the spectator ligand increases, carbonyl stretching frequency will decrease. Okay, and we had discussed the basically we had discussed about the phosphine spectator ligands. When phosphine ligand behave as spectator ligand, then what will be the type of the donor ability? So we had seen that the donor ability was highest for PR3 and lowest for not PF3, it is, you can term it as PX3 for halide, okay, PCl3, PBr3. So from here what I can say, it is PAR3, POR whole thrice and POAR whole thrice. From here what you can say, you can take one example like PME3, is having more donor ability than PPH3, which is again having more donor ability than POME whole thrice, which is having greater donor ability than POPH3, and PX3 you can term it as different phosphorus ligands, different halide ligands, like you can take it as PF3. If you consider that PX3 only, then what you can see that the donor ability of PF3 will be least because fluorine is more electronegative, electron withdrawing effect is greater. So PF3 is less than PCl3, PBr3 and PI3. So these all are nothing but your donor ability. Okay, so these are very important things which we had discussed in my previous class. So up to this logic, up to this theory, these points, we will try to solve different questions today. So let's begin with our first question. Now look at this. Here it is a free carbonyl molecule, and in this case what you can think that for this molecule BH3, boron center, okay, this boron center is electrophilic. In all cases we need to compare the carbonyl stretching frequency. So what we need to do, that what will be the pattern of the back bonding. Now here there is no question of back bonding for the first molecule, because over here this boron center is electrophilic, having a vacant 2p orbital, and this carbonyl is donating electron density towards here. So if the electron density is donated from carbonyl, so this carbonyl can behave as CO plus. And did you remember that in my previous class I have given you the list? From that list I said that please do remember the value of the stretching frequency. So the stretching frequency of CO plus is 2184 centimeter inverse, but for the stretching frequency of free CO, like free carbonyl, it is your 2143 centimeter inverse. So the stretching frequency of CO plus will be greater than the free CO. So from here what I can say, that this mu1 has greater value as compared to mu4. So this was the case where the free CO and CO plus we are comparing between them. Now what will happen in this case, when some metal carbonyl is present, that means a metal center is there. You should remember that whenever some amount of metal center is present, they will exert some amount of pi back donation. When metal center is present, there will be pi back donation, and pi back donation means that will decrease the carbonyl stretching frequency value. In my previous class what I said, that for free CO the carbonyl stretching frequency is higher than for the metal carbonyl molecules. Like for the terminal carbonyl also the value was somewhere between your 1850 to 2100. So it was a value for the terminal carbon when metal this kind of terminal carbonyl is present. So here the value was something like this, 1850 to 2100 centimeter inverse. This was the mu IS stretching frequency value, because over here what you can see that some amount of back donation is occurring. So if you compare these two, mu2 and mu3 will be lower as compared to mu4. Okay, now compare these two metals. Over here this carbonyl ligand is your neutral ligand, so it is your +1 oxidation state, and it is overall negative charge means it is V-1 oxidation state. What I have said, that more and more electron density over the metal, more and more will be the back donation. Okay, so back donation will be greater in this case, V negative, because it is it has more negative electron charge, negative electron density. That means greater back donation. Greater back donation means it will have the lower stretching frequency value. Okay, here the back donation is higher, here the back bonding will be higher in this case. If back bonding is higher, automatically if you compare these two, then mu2 is greater than mu3. The stretching frequency of carbonyl will be greater in the case of Mn+, because here the extent of back donation will be lower. Okay, extent of back donation increases means stretching frequency decreases. Clear? So compare between these two. So what you can find, that mu2 is greater than mu3. And between mu2 and mu4, obviously mu4 is of higher carbonyl stretching frequency, because that is a free carbonyl. So this is your order: mu1, mu4, mu1 greater than mu4, greater than mu2, and greater than mu3. So this is the order of your carbonyl stretching frequency. Clear? Okay, is there any question? So if you have any doubt, I will suggest you that please comment below, and you can send me the doubt in my Telegram group also. So there you can interact with me. So wherever you will face any kind of doubt, let me know. So I will try to clarify it as soon as possible. Okay, now let's move on to this question. Write down the correct order. Here also the mu CO frequency is asking, and this FAC term is facial. Facial means facial isomer. For isomerism chapter, which I will upload video very soon in the coordination lecture series, there you will find that there are two types of isomers when this kind of ligand is present, Ma3B3. So here two types of ligands is present. So it is a octahedral complex. So what I can say, that if it is a octahedral geometry, then this one is one face of that octahedral geometry, and this is another face of the octahedral geometry. Okay, suppose in a dice, okay, or in a cube, you can think that this is one face of the cube. So likewise, if you compare this kind of octahedral geometry, okay, my drawing is not that good anyway, so you can think that this is one face, this is another face. So here what we can see, that these two opposite face, if you compare these two opposite face, so if you compare these two, okay, 3 A ligands present in one face and 3 B ligands present in another face. So this kind of isomer is called the facial isomer. Okay, so the same thing is happening in this case. For this case, look at this, molybdenum is the metal center, there are 3 carbonyl, and over here different phosphine ligand is present. So if you draw the structure, it will be something like this, where 3 carbonyls are present over here in this way, and 3 phosphine ligands will present. Now obviously the phosphine ligands are nothing but your spectator ligand. Now look at the donorability of the spectator ligand. Higher donorability means higher electron density over the metal. Higher electron density means higher pi back donation. Higher pi back donation means lower mu CO frequency. Clear? So this is the order which you need to understand. Higher electron density over metal, higher back donation, lower carbon stretching frequency. That's it. So what you can think, that what is the donorability? Donorability. Okay, so in my previous class what I have said, that this PX3 molecule, this is a PF3 molecule which has lower donorability as compared to PCl3. So if you compare them, PF3 has lower donorability than PCl3. Now in this case one aromatic group is present, so PClPH2, you know that PX3 is of lesser donorability as compared to PAR3. So if aromatic ring is present, then automatically the donorability will be higher. So for PCl3 and PClPH2, the PClPH2 will have greater donorability, and PME3 is nothing but your PR3 molecule. So PR3 molecule will have the highest donorability for this kind of phosphine series. So the donorability will be greater for PME3. So the option will be something like this. It is your option number A, it is B, it is C, it is D. Okay, so if the donorability increases, the electron density over the metal increases, so pi back donation. So order of pi back bonding follow this order: greater donorability of the spectator ligand, greater electron density, greater pi back bonding. If pi back bonding follows this order, then what will be the order of mu CO? Carbonyl stretching frequency order will be just reverse. That means A will have the highest carbonyl stretching frequency, greater than B, greater than C, greater than D. That's it. Now moving on to our next question. Now what they have said, that okay, there will be a correction. Here it is the CO ligand. The ligand looks like something this. Molecule looks like something this. Here it is CO, Cl, one phosphine ligand over here, another over here. Now higher stretching frequency of the carbonyl ligand. Here also the same thing we are doing. Just check the donorability of the phosphine ligands present. Now over here you can think that this is a tertiary butyl group, and tertiary butyl group is nothing but your R group. So it is your one kind of PR3. And in all cases, now don't be confused with this one. This is your a benzene analog, where fluorine substituted benzene analog. There is a fluorine substituted pentafluoro, sorry, another correction, C6F5, pentafluoro. So this is a fluorine substituted benzene ring. That means it is nothing but your aromatic ring. So they all are 1, 2 and 3. This 1, 2 and 3, these all are your PR3. PaR3. So you know that the donor ability, if you compare the donor ability, then of course the donor ability of PR3 is greater than PaR3 aromatic ring. So the donor ability will be something like this. So in this case, what I can say that PaR3, when the aromatic ring is present, then the donor ability will be decreased. Okay, there is no question about that. So now compare these three ligands. Here 5 fluorine atom is present, which is nothing but your electron withdrawing fluorine effects. Electron withdrawing effect will be there. So what will happen due to the presence of the electron withdrawing fluoride groups? So the donor ability will be decreased. So there are 5 fluorine atoms in case of 1. So 1 will have the least donor ability of the phosphine ligand. So if you compare the donor ability of the phosphine ligands, you will get 1 has the least donor ability, then 2, and for the 3 you can get that there is a methyl group, which is the electron pushing group or electron donating group. Methyl is your plus H or plus I group. You can think that I have already given you the idea of plus H and plus I group in the GOC lecture series. So what you can see that the donor ability of 3 is greater than 2, but these all are your PaR3. So PR3, when the alkyl group is present, which will have more donor ability. So 4 will have the highest donor ability of the phosphine ligand. Now if it is the order of the donor ability, then the pi back donation, pi back bonding will have the same order. Okay, this is the order for the pi back donation, and carbonyl stretching frequency will have the opposite order, 1 greater than 2, greater than 3, greater than 4. Okay, now compare them. Which one have the highest value? This 2004, this has the highest value. So this will have 2004 centimeter inverse, which is nothing but your option number D. Then 1984, so it is option number C, 1984. Then 1965, I'm just doing it according to the value, decreasing order of the value. So 1965, and for the 4 it is 1923. That means option number, yeah, that means entry number A, 1923. So from here what I can see that for 4 it is matching with your option A. So over here 4 is matching with your option A, 3 is matching with your option B, 2 is matching with C, and 1 is matching with D. This is happening in this case. Clear? Okay, now moving on to our next question. In this case, what we need to understand, what will be the molybdenum carbon bond strength. So what we know that if the metal has more electron density, so what will happen? It will increase the extent of back bonding. If back bonding increases, then automatically the metal carbon bond increases, strength increases, and the stretching frequency will be higher. Okay, now over here just look at the spectator ligands. If you compare the donor ability of the spectator ligands, you will find that there are 2 alkyl groups are present. So this is comparable to PR3, where they are electron donating group. Okay, so their donor ability will be higher in this case. Now here 2 phenyl ring, that means aromatic ring is present, so it is comparable to PaR3. So here the donor ability is to some extent lesser than the first one. The donor ability of PR3 is greater than PaR3. It is also PaR3 because it is nothing but your pentafluorosubstituted benzene ring. Okay, this will have the structure like this we have just discussed. So here fluorine group is present, which is nothing but your electron withdrawing group, and those electron withdrawing group will decrease the donor ability. So the donor ability will follow this order. If I give you the order, so this is the donor ability of the phosphine ligands. The same thing is it is the order of the pi back donation. If we think that the pi back bonding follow this order, 1 greater than 2 greater than 3, according to the donor ability. Now pi back bonding means if the extent of pi back bonding increases, automatically the electron density over the metal increases, and that will increase the metal carbon bond strength. So the metal carbon bond strength, so what I can say that molybdenum carbon bond strength is proportional to the pi back bonding. So this is the order of the pi back donation. So this will be the order of your molybdenum carbon bond strength. So the bond strength of that So molybdenum carbon bond strength will have the same order, 1 greater than 2 greater than 3. Now what I can say, that bond strength if increases, if the bond strength increases, the bond length becomes decreased. So there is an inverse relationship between bond strength and bond length. Lesser bond length means greater bond strength. Clear? So the bond strength has this order and bond length will have exactly the opposite order, means 1 less than 2 less than 3. This is the order of the bond length. Now if you compare the options, in this case the bond length order has been asked, so 3 greater than 2 greater than 1, so option A is your right answer. Okay, now moving on to our next question. What will be the correct statement according to the back bonding, bond length, whatever? So let's discuss about this thing, that what will be the pattern of this ligand, and these are all your cyclopentadienyl ligands, and over here there are electron donating group is there and here electron withdrawing group is there. So from here what you can see, that donor ability of this methyl substituted pentadienyl ligands is greater than the simple cyclopentadienyl ligand, and it is even greater than the fluoro ligand. Okay, so if the donor ability follows this order, then what I can say, the back bonding, okay, back bonding will follow the same order. So greater donor ability means ability of spectator ligands means greater back bonding. So B greater than A greater than C. So if back bonding follows this order, then carbonyl stretching frequency will be your B less than A less than C. Okay. Now order stretching frequency of carbonyl, this will be your answer option. Okay, this will be of carbonyl. What will be the order of the IR stretching frequency of carbonyl? So if you follow that, the order of IR stretching frequency of carbonyl is nothing but this one, C greater than A greater than B. It can't be this one. So now the bond length, if you compare the CO bond length, so if the back donation increases, then automatically bond length increases. So CO bond length will follow this order. So if the back donation increases, so bond length will follow this order. Bond length will increase, bond becomes weaker in that case. Okay, so it's not your answer. So your option number D is your right answer. Other options are not correct. Order of back donation, we have already seen that B greater than A greater than C. So these all options are ruled out. So only the option number D is correct. So here we have already completed the metal carbonyl, the bonding pattern and IR stretching frequency of those things. We have already seen the application part also. Now in the next class you will get the lecture on the metal reaction of the metal carbonyls. Okay, so we'll discuss that, and after that you will get another lecture on the carbonylate ion. So carbonylate, the reactivity of the carbonylate. There's a series of reactions, you will see that. After completing this metal carbonylate, we will move on to our next topic, that means the reaction mechanism of organometallic compound. That means your oxidative addition, reductive elimination, beta hydride elimination. We will learn about some very important interactions like agostic interaction there. Okay, so these migratory insertion reaction, we will learn about that, and we will solve a lot of questions, and most of the cases you will find questions from those part in organometallic chemistry. So after completing those things, we will move on to the coupling reactions. Clear? So this will be our roadmap. So please watch the videos, watch all the videos sequentially, and please like it, share it and subscribe it. Thank you. Happy learning.